In today's video I'm going to talk about tire rotation. There is many ways to do tire rotation, and if you do have staggered wheels on your vehicle, meaning that your rear tires are wider than the front ones, then there is not much you can do, or you can just simply swap them from left to right, because the road has a camber, so it's a slope to one side just to get the rainwater off the road as soon as possible. And of course in right-hand drive market, so when you drive on the left of the road but your steering wheel is on the right, like in Australia and UK, that slope is towards the left. And if you are in mainland Europe or in the US or in Canada, that camber or the slope of the road of the tarmac is to the right to get the water off the road as soon as possible. Okay, so for the tire rotation there is a few ways, and I'll show you some picture here. What I'm going to do today, because this Tesla is a rear wheel drive only, so I'll just simply move the wheels in a cross pattern, front to the back here across, and the rear ones will go forward, because there is quite a difference in the thread now. If you have a front wheel drive, it would be a reversed cross, so from the back across to the front, and front wheels come to the back. And here's another picture. If you have all-wheel drive vehicles, then it will be a cross pattern, so front to the back across, and the other way across on all-wheel drive models. If you do have a all-wheel drive Tesla or dual motor Tesla, then of course there will be not as significant difference. Because this is a rear wheel drive and I do enjoy one pedal driving, then these rear tires get worn out quicker, because for the torque and the rear wheel drive only, and also when you decelerate, so when you lift off your foot off the accelerator, you use regenerative braking, and there is quite a resistance from the wheel, so the front tires just glide along, and if you don't use the pedal brake, then the front tires wear less, then definitely the rear ones wear out more. Now after a long time, even the camber or the slope of the tarmac of the road can create a difference, so that's why it's wise to rotate tires. Tesla recommends tire rotation every 6,000 to 8,000 kilometers, and of course, well, for some people it's very often. I haven't done it for a while now, so it's time to do it today. So enough talking, and let's get to work. Because these cars are really low, what I had to do, I've put a couple of timber boards and I drove over them, front and rear, so I get more clearance to put in the jack, this hydraulic jack. And also in the previous video, a while ago now, I mentioned I built these adapters. I'll put a link in the description of this video so you can see how I built these. For now, for the ease of operations, I'm going to put this adapter into the lifting point. Okay, so it's sitting in there. Now, just not to damage those lifting points. And now the jack just clears right there. And I have to make sure I have tightened the release of hydraulic jack. And I will start lifting. And I'll go forward as well, so it will be equally raised. Same thing here, same jack. This one is 1.4 ton hydraulic trolley jack, and again, because the car is quite low, I had to use those boards as well, so it's raised. Now I'll fit in this adapter here. There are a couple of holes for those pins, just for increased stability, so it's not gonna slide anywhere. And again, making sure that this is closed, this release valve in, and cup over cup there. Maybe I didn't even have to use the boards here, because as you can see there is enough clearance, but I did anyway. Oh yeah, this valve here is quite dry, so I have to put some grease on it. I forgot to mention, first thing I did when the car was still on the ground, I loosened the lug nuts here on the front wheel, because the parking brake is applied on the rear wheel only, And of course you want the wheel to not be spinning when you loosen the nuts. So what I use here is the torque wrench, and it's a 21mm socket for the lug nuts. It's a thin wall one, so make sure the wall is quite thin here. This is a 19-inch wheels, more or less 70. So as you can see, it's older style 2015 wheels. And if you use thick wall socket, then you might struggle to fit it inside the wheel. There is enough clearance, but I noticed here, probably at the service center, the guys used some larger socket and they scratched this opening there. So what you want to do first is loosen all the lug nuts while the wheel is still on the ground, and then lift the car up. Almost off the ground. And now the rear. I use cardboard so I don't scratch the floor here, because this is a painted floor of the cardboard. Okay, we have enough clearance there of the ground. And as well as in front, maybe just a bit more. Okay, the car is off the ground, and now we are going to loosen all the lug nuts and just swap the wheels across. I must say these wheels are quite loose. And now, just to make it faster, I use this impact wrench, but I never use impact wrench to fully tighten the wheels or anything, because Tesla doesn't recommend doing this because of the vibration that this can transfer onto the electric motor. So be aware, guys, I only use the torque wrench but not the impact wrench to tighten or loosen the wheels. I just use it now so it's quicker to remove the lug nuts. This is an opportunity also to inspect the wheels and of course the brake pads and suspension, but in this case, for those of you who like keeping your wheels clean on the inside as well, this is an opportunity to give them a good wipe on the inside there. And of course we're going to have a look at the brake pads. Now the brake pad thickness is incredible. Look at that, it's easily 12mm thick brake pad there. You can see it now. So that's why I love one pedal driving, because it's just much easier not having to put your foot on a brake just to keep it over the accelerator and just hover and play with it. Fantastic. The disc is nice and smooth. So this is the parking brake here. You know, very thin brake pads, they don't wear much. And the main 2-piston caliper here. The tire rotation is done. I couldn't have chosen warmer weather. It's 31 degrees Celsius today in Brisbane. In case you wonder what sort of Newton meters of torque you need, Tesla states 175 Newton meter of torque on all the lug nuts on the wheels. Some state 215. So if you aim for 180, you will be fine. So this is for tire rotation. If this is your first time on this YouTube channel, feel free to subscribe. Click on that button below and on the bell notification, and YouTube will send you a notification every time I publish future videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.